Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Guns and Yellow Ribbons preview podcast. My good friend and co host Fergus is off on a family trip to Germany this weekend, so I'm afraid you've just got me. I'm flying solo. I'll do my best. Keep the comments coming in, it will help. Enjoy the show, hopefully.
Welcome to another podcast by Guns and Yellow Ribbons. This is your Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Enjoy the show.
Good evening. Hello. Welcome. As I said, I'm all on my own. I'm going to do my very best. I'm just going to keep talking and talking until my voice gives up. Fergus is in Germany on a family trip to see his daughter and son-in-law, and he's taking in a game in Berlin tomorrow, which he's been there all day. He has sent me a couple of pictures to show you all. I think I'll be able to find them in a minute, but we'll soon see. Going to talk about all the weekend's games, but you're only getting my opinion tonight, so please don't be putting too much money on your hackers on the strength of my predictions, because they're not often the best. But we'll see how it goes. We'll also obviously look at more length at the Arsenal game away at Burnley tomorrow. It can be a difficult place to go, and we'll look ahead to what's going to be a great trip to Prague. Hopefully, I'm flying out on Monday morning, coming back on Thursday, and hopefully it'll be an enjoyable trip with a big fourth win in the Champions League for the Arsenal. Right, just going to start tonight with a couple of things I just want to mention before. Firstly, it was the amazing Bob Wilson's 84th birthday yesterday. One of my very, very, very first Arsenal heroes, played in the first game I ever saw at Highbury. A wonderful man, does great work for charity, should have a knighthood for the work he's done and the person he is, and hopefully that will come along one day. Secondly, 25 years today, on a bit of a sad note, since the late, great George Armstrong passed away at a very young age. He was only in his 50s. Passed away at the training ground at Colney, and I know there's a pitch at Colney named after him. His daughter Jill is a wonderful lady on social media. I talk to her often, and so very sad today to remind us that it's 25 years since George Armstrong passed. And I'm just getting some more news in as well. I'm getting news in that Colin Addison has passed away today. He played for the Arsenal. He was actually Bertie Mee's first ever signing for the mighty Arsenal. So my respects go out to his family and his friends at this sad time. I'm also, unfortunately, hearing news coming in that another Arsenal hero of mine may have sadly passed away today. I'm just waiting for the official announcement to be made before it's not for me to name names. But all in all, a sad day today. And and I'll move on, leave it behind, because we have to. We're human beings, aren't we? So I'm going to talk about a couple of games, and I've got a couple of other things I want to talk about. Keep your comments coming in. I may not stick them all up at the same time because I'm trying to do 101 things. I've got my notes to my left. I've got the comments to my right. I've got a Luton game on in the background on the right-hand side. So I'll do my very best to keep your comments going up there, but it would help to see them, both your match predictions and any points you might want to make on the games or the Arsenal in general. It will help me along, and I'll very much appreciate it. Thank you. I agree with Trevor here. May their souls rest in peace. God bless them. Yeah, absolutely, Trevor. So the first game I'm going to talk about, right? And I keep looking this side because I've got to look at my notes. I've not got Fergus here giving me ear bashings as usual. So it's just me. Brighton v Leeds, right? Brighton v Leeds. Brighton at home lost to Man United last week. Leeds beat West Ham. I was quite surprised Brighton lost to Man United, actually. I thought that they might have turned them over last week, Man United, but it wasn't to be. But all in all, Leeds, yeah, they won. They didn't lose to West Ham. Leeds beat West Ham last week. God, what am I talking about? Leeds beat West Ham. Everybody beats West Ham at the moment, don't they? So Leeds had a win, Brighton had a loss, but Brighton at home, I fancy Brighton to win this game. I really do fancy Brighton to win it. I'm not quite sure why. As you guys all out there know, I don't know every player in every team. I just go by the results and their previous form and draw my conclusions from there. So, yeah, I think that Brighton are going to beat Leeds 3-1. I fancy Leeds to score, but I think Brighton will get 3 at home and it'll be a big day for Brighton. Looks like the comments. Oh, Demsek's gone for Leeds, which is a bit of a surprise from Kev, but we listened to them all. And the rest of us are going Brighton, apart from Danny, who's gone for a 1-1 draw. So we've got all angles covered there, really. Everyone's gone for all the different scores, but it just seems to be the majority going for a Brighton win, which is exactly what I'm going for. Before I move on to the next game, right, I'm going to leave the Arsenal till last, obviously, which is Fulham v Wolves. I just want to talk about, right, our form in October. What a month to be an Arsenal fan, right? 6 games, 12 goals scored, none conceded. With injuries still, we've still not got our full squad together. I'm absolutely buzzing on the back of this month. I mean, it couldn't have got any better, could it? You could. I use the word perfection, and I make no apologies for that. I really thought that we've played some amazing football this month. We've ground out results. We've won games comfortably. We've shown a whole horizon, a broad horizon of different ways we win our games, and we battle, and we find ways to win, which is a great thing to have. It was on social media today, and Liverpool fans have been very quiet. I'm only going to message them briefly. I'll talk about them briefly. Liverpool fans have been very quiet today, but one Liverpool fan's comment today was, "Where's your Champions League?" And it was banter, wasn't it? Because he wasn't swearing, he wasn't abusive. And in fairness to him, it does. I hate the fact we've not won the Champions League. I hate the fact we've not won the Champions League. I'm desperate for us to win it while I can still go to football games. And I know I look a lot younger, right? I know I look a lot younger, but I am 63, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to go watching games. So come on, Arsenal, pull your socks up. We nearly got there last year. We come up against an inspired goalkeeper at Paris Saint-Germain who kept them ahead. But yeah, I want us to win it. But actually, to finish off, talking about the current, the now, which is what we should be talking about now, the current form, how teams are doing. 6 or 7, 8 games coming up, we're going into that area, you know. So there's a little bit of an indicator of who's going to be good and who's going to be bad. And if I was a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't be worried about telling teams I'd won the Champions League. I'd be more worried about my team's form. Can't win a game for toffee. Be interesting to see how they go this weekend. But we'll talk about that shortly, right? So, Fulham v Wolves, right? Fulham lost at Newcastle last week. I thought Fulham might have got something at Newcastle last week. I really do. Wolves lost at home to Burnley. They're in massive trouble, aren't they? Burnley scored a very late winner. We saw the Wolves player arguing with the Wolves fans after the game, which I quite like, actually. I quite like it. I find it a player showing some heart and some guts like that. If my team was in trouble, I'd want to see that from a player. I really would. I really would want to see that from a player. So, Fulham v Wolves, I can only see one outcome. I've got Fulham to beat Wolves, but only 2-1. Demsek's gone for a win for Fulham, a comfortable win. Demsek's found Kosh Jonkies found a draw from somewhere. I don't know where you found that, mate. You know, I don't know where you found a draw, but everyone's entitled to their opinion, Crush. Yeah, and that's about it. Oh, no, we've got another one down here. Look, we've got Trevor saying Fulham to win 2-0. And yeah, I get that. Simon's saying a home win 2-0. Arnie's saying a home win 2-0. Ronnie Lamb, right? While I'm on Ronnie, right? I've only just started speaking recently to Ronnie, right? And he's a lovely, lovely man. And we're hopefully going to get together soon because he's got some wonderful Arsenal memorabilia, some great stories to tell about the Arsenal. And I'm really looking forward to having a longer chat with you over a cup of tea, Ronnie. And thank you for talking to me as you have done. And hope we carry on talking, mate. Danny's got Fulham to win 3-1. So the general consensus seems that Fulham are going to get a win. One's gone for Leeds, one's gone for a draw. But I'm with the Fulham win, I am. I'm going 2-1 to Fulham. And I don't know why I've only gone 2-1, to be honest. It could be so much more. I just want to go back. Have I found, where's this post? I see a comment up here just now. Where are we? Here we go. Has there ever been a month where we haven't conceded a goal in so many games? I think there has, Simon, from what I'm reading. I'm sure I'll get put right, but I don't think we won all of them games. I think we drew one. And so that's the first month where we've conceded none and actually won every game. I stand to be corrected, but I think that's how it is. Yeah, I think that's how it is. I don't know if I put this up there. Danny's gone for a 3-1 win to Fulham as well, right? So hang on, I've got to cross these off as we go along. You can tell I'm not very experienced at this, can't you? Hey, anyway, so that's done. So the next game down here now is a London derby, albeit second-rate London derby. You know, it is a London derby, right? Tottenham at home to Chelsea, both coming off wins. No, Tottenham come off a win last week at Everton. Everton, I've got a soft spot for Everton, but it's hard to have a soft spot if the team loses 3-0 to Tottenham. So Tottenham won 3-0 at Everton and Chelsea lost to Sunderland, didn't they? Oh my dear. What a result. What a turn up that was. That brought a smile to a few North London faces. I know for a fact Tottenham's home form this season hasn't been the best, has it? And I just hope it stays that way, to be honest. I really do. I think that Chelsea are going to get a win at Tottenham, even though they lost at home last week. I think Chelsea are going to beat Tottenham by 2 clear goals. So I've gone 2-0 to Chelsea. It could be more, it could be less. Dempsey's gone 2-1 to Chelsea. Simon's gone an away win 3-1. Ronnie's gone for a draw. Ronnie, that's a yellow card, my friend. You're on a yellow card for saying that Tottenham might get a point at all. That you're on a yellow card. We don't stand for that on this show. Where are we? Oh, Trev's on a yellow card as well. Look, Trev, what are you doing, mate? 1-1. Trev's gone 1-1. Danny's my mate tonight. Look, Danny's gone 6-0 to Chelsea. I love that. 6-0 to Chelsea. I'll take that. Dempsey, you've mentioned the Crystal Palace game. I will come to that, mate. I promise I will come to that in a minute. Yeah, I promise. Where are we? Where was I then? Oh, yeah, here we go. Cross Jonky wants a Chelsea win. I'm glad to hear that. Fergus is on, having a comment. Evening from Berlin. Thank you for hosting, Hillsy. See you Monday. Well, do you know what, right? This worries me greatly because I know that Fergus had a few beers in Berlin tonight. And the last time I had to do it on my own, he decided he was going to try and join the show on his phone. And not only did he not join the show, he cut us all off. We just lost everything. Everything went blank. I phoned him while I was getting back online and called him every swear word. You think of a swear word, I called him it, right? There was no holding back, I tell you. No holding back at all. And so hopefully he won't try and join tonight and he'll just watch and listen and enjoy his beer. Demsek concerning Chelsea's defence. Yeah, Tottenham's is no better though, is it, Demsek? I mean, they've got this, they're all screaming and shouting about this Van de Ven bloke, but I wouldn't swap anyone we've got at the Arsenal for him, never in a month of Sundays, mate, to be honest. Guns and yellow ribbons. Fergus has gone 2-1 to Chelsea. I'll take that all day long. So it looks like the general consensus of opinion is as it should be. As it should be. Chelsea to win at Tottenham. Right, now I'm coming back to Palace, right? Now I'm coming back to Palace. I do apologise. Where have we gone? Oh, yeah, I do apologise to Dempsey for not doing it in the order. We're going to come back to Palace v Brentford, right? Palace are playing really well, aren't they? I know we beat them last week, but I can tell you for nothing, I thought Palace were a really, really well organised side. And I also thought that we did really well to win the game 1-0. I think that Mateta, the lad up front for Palace, is huge, and he runs his socks off. And for a big fella who's got lovely control, puts himself about. And then, of course, their back three, they play a back three at Palace, and they're three huge lads. And to be honest, although Victor ran his socks off last week and gave it 101%, did Victor? I know he did. He was everywhere. That big Palace back three had him worked out. They really did. And as much as Victor huffed and puffed, the back three at Palace took care of him. But you're still watching the game, right? And you're thinking, you still want Victor in there, because as long as Palace are taking care of him, they're leaving space elsewhere, you know. So I'm not knocking Victor. I'm just saying that he probably the Palace defence had hold of him last week. So here we go. Demsek's gone for a 1-0 win to Palace. Danny's gone for 2-0 to Palace. I've gone for 1-0 to Palace. And Ronnie's gone for a draw. Because, yeah, Ronnie's got a point, you know, because Brentford ain't a bad side, are they? You know what I mean? On their day, they can put up a great performance against anyone. And Trev agrees with Ronnie. He's gone for a draw as well. So, yeah, I mean, it could happen. Brentford are not too much of a bad team, you know, and I absolutely agree with Cross Jonky here. Palace will cause teams lots of problems, not just us. They've shown that already. They've shown their quality already. They showed it again this week, albeit, like, you know, both teams had many changes. Palace went to Liverpool, didn't they, and won 3-0. And I don't care what anybody says about that. That will have come as a shock to Liverpool fans, team, players, the lot. So keep going, Palace. Well done, mate. Simon's gone for a Palace win 1-0. Me and Simon have agreed there. Thank you, Simon, for agreeing with me. Much appreciated. Arnie's gone 1-1. And then Demsek has reminded us that, as good as we say that, this is his 10th versus 11th in the table. But it's early in the season. That could change. Palace haven't got Wharton and Ketia, Dekuri, Riyad and Kforfa. Brentford are without Arthur, Milambo and Silva. Crystal Palace has got a doubt with Richards. And if I'm really honest, right, because, you know, I'm just an old fella, bit of a geriatric, I don't know half of them players because I love and support the Arsenal. This is where I need somebody else on this preview podcast with me to keep me on the straight and narrow. Now I'm going to try and do something, right? Anything could happen here, people. Anything could happen here, right? Yeah. Fergus sent a few pictures today from Berlin, right? He's going to watch Dynamo, as he puts it, not me. Dynamo, Dresden, play at Berlin tomorrow. He's going with his son-in-law, Martin. There's thousands and thousands of Dresden make the away trip to Berlin. Bit jealous, actually. I'd love to be going to watch it, but I couldn't watch it at the expense of an Arsenal game. So, Fergus, make sure you enjoy it. There's Fergus by Checkpoint Charlie today with his son-in-law, Martin. There's Fergus at is at the Brandenburg Gate, isn't it? I don't know what filter he's got on there because he looks quite slim. I'm going to have to ask him questions about what filter that was. And then there he is again at Checkpoint Charlie. I'm hiding behind the sandbags, which is where he should be hiding most of the time, to be honest with you. It really is. So how do I get rid of that now? I'm new at this, but I'm getting on all right, and I'm getting on all right. Well, I'm happy with myself anyway. Hopefully you guys in the chat are not getting too bored with me because I'm doing my very best. Right, what's the next game on our list then? Oh, talk of the devil, right? Liverpool. Where's Liverpool? Liverpool v Villa. Liverpool lost last week to Brentford. Oh dear. Villa beat Man City last week, right? So going on current form, Villa have got to be the favourites for me. It doesn't seem to matter if Liverpool are playing at home with their bit of, and it's not much of an atmosphere, but with the crowd behind them, doesn't seem to matter at the moment. Liverpool not playing well at home or away, are they? And Demsek's first in with the prediction, and he's gone 1-0 to Villa. And do you know what? I've gone 1-0 to Villa as well. I think Villa are going to win at Liverpool tomorrow. I really do. Miles has gone for a score draw. Simon's gone for a draw, but we'll be cheering Villa on to carry on the pain. Yeah, I mean, Cross Junkie's gone for a 2-1 win to Villa. Arnie's gone for a 3-0 win to Villa. Danny's gone for a 1-0 win to Villa. Wow, everybody has gone for a win for Villa, apart from my old mate Trev. Look, he's gone for a 2-1 win to Liverpool. Trev, I love you joining us on this show. I love your input into this show. I love agreeing with you most of the time, but mate, I hope you're wrong there. I really hope you're wrong. I don't want to see no more of this Liverpool. I want to see Liverpool in the bottom half of the table. It keeps their fans quiet. It stops them being a pain in the backside in social media. So come on, Villa. Here we go. Ronnie's agreed with us. 2-1 win to Villa. Good evening. Now it's interesting that he puts good evening, Ronnie, because I'm just going to drift a little bit here, because I was talking to Ronnie last night, and Unai Emery. I always gave Unai Emery my full support, right? My full support. I found it a bit embarrassing at times how Arsenal fans constantly took the Mickey out of his pidgin English. He struggled with English. For me, he spoke perfectly good English, but just didn't seem to get the words out. And I found out yesterday, right, that as a younger man, Unai Emery had a speech impediment. He had a stammer or a stutter, or however you want to put it. And that made him not only learn English, but trying to get the words out very difficult. And that sort of makes sense to me now. And I'm glad I wasn't one of those that used to take the mickey out of Unai Emery's stammer or his speech, the way he spoke, because there was no reason to. And a lot of Arsenal fans disagree with me here, but, we've all got our opinions. And I don't know if you want opinion in the comments or not, feel free. But I felt for Unai Emery at the Arsenal, because what he inherited, both on the playing field and behind the scenes, was miles off the mark, right? Was miles off the mark. He was on a loser. He was following one of the greatest managers the world has ever seen at club level. However, who left us in a mess at the end, in my opinion, right? And Emery inherited that, and he weren't getting a lot of help. And he got us to a Europa League final, We lost it. We lost it quite heavily, but, I think it was the right thing for Emery to move on when he did. I'm so happy we've got Arteta, but I have no malice towards Emery. I was quite appreciative of what he did, actually. Yeah. So, John Malone, I love John. He's a great lad. We'll have a beer together soon, John. Looking lean there, Trev. Yeah, well, thank you for bringing that to the attention of people, John. Hopefully people have noticed. Yeah, and John, you're also right. It's Alex's birthday today. Alex, who comes on the podcast occasionally, Danish Viking, it's his birthday today. I think he's about 17. So happy birthday, Alex. Have a great day. Demsek's exactly right. Staying on the Emery theme, that history shows us that the next manager after a great manager is screwed. Yeah, I honestly think that Emery had no chance, mate. No chance. And then where are we going? Yeah, Cross Junkie. Emery wasn't given the backing, sadly. He had the investment. Had he had the investment, we'll never know what could have been achieved. It all worked out well for Arteta. Well, it did. I agree. I agree. Absolutely agree, Cross. Worked out very well for us in the end, because Arteta has took us to levels. We're nearly there, aren't we? I don't want to tempt fate by talking about winning things yet, but we're nearly there. We've come so close, so close, so close. It's got to happen eventually. So, it works out all right in the end. And we've got a great manager, in my opinion, in Mikel Arteta. Now, excuse me looking away here, because the next game I want to talk about is I can't find on my notes here, which is no good at all. I'm really struggling. Oh, here we go. West Ham v Newcastle, right? West Ham v Newcastle. West Ham lost to Leeds last week, right? West Ham can't win a game for toffee, can they? They can't win, you know. Newcastle beat Fulham in a game that I thought Fulham might get something out of, but they didn't. West Ham at home. Will the fans come to the stadium? Do you know what? I can't blame them for not going. As much as I love football, right? As much as I love my football club immensely, and I know I would have gone, but I'm still going to say this. If my club had moved to a stadium like the London Stadium, it's horrible. It's horrible. I've been there as a visiting fan a few times now, and I feel for them. It's not a football stadium. It's not pleasant at all. And it's showing with their form this year. You know, there's no atmosphere in there, and they're struggling. Newcastle beat Fulham last week, didn't they? And away to West Ham, I think Newcastle will be too good for West Ham. As does Arnie, as does Simon, as does Demsek, as does Danny. All agreeing on an away win, you know. And I don't want to see West Ham go down, but I don't see where their get out card is. Trevor's agreeing as well. Trev's gone 4-0. I've just gone for a 1-0 win for Newcastle away at West Ham. But it could be anything, couldn't it? Be interesting to see how it goes, to see whether West Ham manage to pull their socks up and actually get some kind of result. Even a point would be better for him, wouldn't it? Ronnie's West Ham, I'm afraid, are pitiful. One just can't back them to win. Yeah, exactly right, Ronnie. Exactly right. Yeah. Cross Junkie's gone for a Voldemort hat trick. Interesting, right? I've got it down to talk about him, Cross Voldemort. Isn't he a big fella? He's a huge, great lump, isn't he? And he plays the ball well, didn't he? I'm really quite impressed with him at Newcastle. I don't know about anyone else, but I really do think that he's going to be all right at Newcastle. I hope Newcastle are all right, but I like that Voldemort. Plays the game really well. Demsek keeps reminding me of the orders of the games. It'll come. I promise you, it will come, you know. Honestly, I will get there. I promise, Demsek. Next up is Forest against United. I promise, yeah. Dan, I'm a compassionate person. Look at me. I've got heart of gold, you know. Heart of gold, me. Won't never call anyone out apart from Liverpool fans at the moment. And, of course, Tottenham and maybe Chelsea on a bad day. So, yeah. And even Newcastle, if they keep beating us. We beat them this season, but last season was horrible against Newcastle. Irish Mick. Oh, Irish Mick won't say hello. Hang on. What's going on? Oh, I can't get rid of that comment now. I'm in massive trouble. Oh, here we go. Irish Mick. Hello, Guns and Ribbons. Yeah, Mick, I'm on my own tonight, mate. So thanks for joining us. All is good so far. Right? But let's talk about the next game, right? I've got to find it on my notes. Please bear with me. Forest v Man United. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Forest, not been in the best of form. Another new manager. Man United started picking up a bit, haven't they? You know what I mean? Just showing signs that there might be a bit of form coming in. And do you know what? I've got to admit it, right? I like the way this Amorim conducts himself. I find him easy to listen to. I never wish good form on Man United because, you know, fans of my age and slightly younger and slightly older can remember the battles we had against Man United and what it was like, you know. So it's always going to be hard to wish Man United well, but I like Amorim. I like him. And I can't see Forest doing a lot. They lost at Bournemouth last week. Man United won at home to Brighton, and I thought Brighton might get something out of that game. So I'm going for a 2-0 Man United win, right? I think that Man United will win 2-0. Simon thinks it's going to be 2-1. Arnie's going for a draw. Demset's going for a draw. Ronnie agrees with me. Thank you, Ronnie. 2-0 to United, and Cross Junky's gone for a 2-1 win to Man United. So and Trevor's gone for a 2-0 win to Man United. I think that's 2 games in a row. We've agreed, Trev. That can't be bad, mate. That can't be bad, right? So yeah, Man United seems to be the favourable option there, and I'm going to stick with that as well. Now, Kev, do me a favour. Tell me if I'm out of sync again, because do you know what's happened here, right? I'm going to be honest with you now. I'm going to do what every good man does, right? I'm going to blame someone else. I've got the games a bit out of order, and that'll be the way Fergus has written them down, for me to make notes on. So I'm blaming Fergus. He's not here to answer to that, and I don't care. I really could not care less, right? So the next game I'm going to talk about is Man City Bournemouth. But before we go on to the Man City game, followed by the Sunderland game, and then we'll finish with the mighty Arsenal, right? I want to talk about the Arsenal and at the Emirates Stadium briefly. And I'd appreciate your opinions here. If not now, stick it on my social media or whatever, because I want to use it again on Monday when we're all together doing next week's show. Or if not Monday, next Friday, because on Monday I'm going to be in Prague with Dan under the influence of some alcohol, sat there on my phone trying to do the podcast. So who knows what might happen. I'll apologise in advance if I'm out of order. But so be it. We follow the Arsenal over land and sea and Leicester. But at the end of this season, right, whether we win it or whether we don't, there'll be a 22-year gap since we last won the league. And that's the longest the Arsenal, because we are the Arsenal, has ever gone since 1930 without winning the league, And for a team of our stature, our history, our quality, that's too long. It's too long, And the point I'm making here is that I really feel for the younger fans now, because we're now getting to a period of time, just over 20 years, where we've got a whole generation or even 2 Arsenal fans that have never seen us win the league, right? Never had that wonderful feeling on the last day of the season of watching our captain lift the Premier League trophy, Yeah, just behind my head there, I've got Tony Adams lifting it. That's a big picture signed by Tony Adams. And the feeling is second to none, isn't it? It's why we go to football. It's better than a last-minute winner, right? And a last-minute winner takes some beating, but watching your team lift the league championship is just off the scale. And I do actually feel for some of our younger fans that they haven't had the pleasure of watching us do that. And I hope that changes sooner than later. I'm being careful what I say, because I don't want to say anything about the end of this season yet. But I can understand as well their thoughts, Sometimes they put stuff on social media, the younger fans, all fans do, but younger fans I'm talking about specifically here, and it can be a bit, you read it and you think, oh God, the poor lad's never seen us win a trophy, don't know that feeling. If it's abusive or really foul or wishing ill on anybody, then blocked, But I do feel for them not having seen us win the trophy, and hopefully that will change very, very soon. And another thing, the Emirates, right? Now, people are saying it's dropped off a bit this season, but the atmosphere at the Emirates has been improving over the last few years, right? There's no doubt about it. And on the concourse, it's very lively around by block 5 and 6 before a game. If you've never been round there and you're fortunate enough to go for a game, because I know how fortunate us match-winning fans are. If you're fortunate enough to go to a game and you go around by block 5 and 6, you'll see passion, you'll see heart, you will see all sorts of amazing people there celebrating the fact that we support the Arsenal. So I really do think that winning the Premier League, or even better, right, I'll whisper it, winning the Champions League soon, would just be the finishing touch to making the Emirates our home. And we've always got Highbury around the corner to go back and look at, and I look at it regularly, and it makes me tingle. And I go and look at the old girl, and not only can I see the old stadium, you can smell it. You can feel the people that used to be there. You can smell the hot dogs and the hamburgers and the onions, you know, and the horse shit on the floor, you know. And it just, I still miss that a bit, but not so much. Emirates is becoming more home, and I really do think a big trophy. I'm not talking FA Cups. I'm talking a big trophy. One of the big two for us would really be helping us to make the Emirates our proper and appreciated home. Yeah, so I've waffled on a bit there. Simon, I want to win it, so my lad sees us win it with his own eyes. Number one reason for me, absolutely. There definitely seems to be a difference in the expectation between the young and the old supporters. I get your point, Kev. I get your point, mate. I don't know if it's expectation or experience. I don't know, but I get that. I get your point. John Malone, if we win the league, I'll be dyeing my hair red for the last game. John, I've got some bad news, mate. You've got to grow it first. You know, you got to grow your hair, then you can dye it red. Ronnie, I've seen all bar being relegated to win the Champions League, and I want to see us win the Champions League. Me too, Ronnie. Me too, Ronnie. More than anything, I'd give me right arm to see us lift the Champions League. I really would. You know, a team of our stature, caliber, blah blah blah, should have won it by now. You know, we've had our chances. We've been a bit unlucky on the odd occasion, and if I'm honest, we've chucked it away on the odd occasion. You know, so yeah, maybe. And Danny, listen, Dan, I hope you're right, mate. If you're right, I'm going to hunt you down and give you a big kiss, right, and a cuddle, because if it is our year, mate. What a year it's going to be. Fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best, mate. So I'm going to move on now. How far are we? We're 37 minutes in. Just before I do move on, I just have to say it. I just have to get it in right because this is so important to me. And his man club. You know, it's the best thing to do to talk. If you're feeling down, you're feeling sad, or you just need to get something off your chest, Google Andy's Man Club. They meet every Monday night. They've got meetings all over the UK, all over the place, and you will be made very welcome. They're non-judgmental. All you do is turn up, you have a cup of tea, you have a biscuit or a bit of cake, and you can talk about your problems and talking, as I've said, and I'll say this every week, I make no apology. Talking doesn't necessarily go the whole way in making it better, but it helps. It lightens the load, right? It lightens the load. And what Andy's Man Club, if you're going there, right? If anybody's thinking of going there, the hardest thing to do is to walk in the door, right? And so Andy's Man Club, they always have someone in the car park with an Andy's Man Club hoodie or t-shirt on. And talk to them first if you want, one-on-one, you know. But let's not hear any more bad stories about people doing what they do. Everybody knows my experience with suicide. It's affected me greatly. I live with it now. It's okay, but it has affected me greatly, you know, and it is, at the end of the day, right, it's a long-term solution to a short-term problem. So if you need help, it's out there. Go and get it. Right, now then, I will move on now, I promise. Manchester City versus Bournemouth, right? Manchester City lost to Villa last week. Bournemouth won against Forest, which was expected, right? Man City, I can't remember what I was speaking to this week now, but it's a really good point. Man City, if Haaland don't score, nobody scores, do they? Nobody scores. You know, it's basically Haaland with an odd chip in now and again. So if Haaland has an off day, you know, other teams have got an opportunity to get something out of the game. And I honestly think Bournemouth might go there and get something off of Man City. Bournemouth have been playing decent this year. You know, they're capable on their day of getting a result. But I've gone for a 2-2 draw at Man City this week. Simon's gone for Man City to win. I do think that it's likely that Man City are going to be our biggest opponents this year for a Premier League. You know, it's going to be us and City, I think. You know, who knows? But that's how I'm thinking. Arnie's gone for a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. Demsek, Kev's gone for a 2-1 win to Man City. Where's Ronnie? Ronnie's gone. Talk about set pieces. Harder than City has scored 66% of all their goals. Wow, that's huge. Trev's gone for a 2-2 draw. Trev, we've agreed again, mate. Oh, my lordy, Trev. Dan's gone for a 1-0 win to Bournemouth. Irish Mick's gone for a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. John Malone's gone for a 2-0 win to Bournemouth. So there's a lot of people fancying a away win, more than fancy the home win. So hopefully we'll be right going for a Bournemouth win, not Man City down the table a little bit. And yeah, I'll take that all day long. Now then, before I move on to Sunderland v Everton, right? Oh, Cross Junkie has come up with a question there that we all ask ourselves, right? We all ask ourselves now and again, don't we? Do you think if we had 11 players on the pitch in the 2006 final, we'd have gone on to win the Champions League, right? I don't know if you want to put anything in the comments, you people, but for me, right? For me, 100% we would have gone on to win that game. 100%. When you look at what happened, Omri missed chances. They only beat us 2-1 with a late goal. We took the lead with 10 men when our great captain, Sol Campbell, scored. I have absolutely doubt that if Lehman stays on the field, we win the game. And I was asked the question once ages ago. I can't remember how the question went exactly now, but it was like, if you could change one thing in history, what would you do or say to change it? And I would just say, no, Jens, don't do it, Jens. Go 1-0 down if we have to. Don't do it. And yeah, that would be me. I was fortunate enough at the semi-final last year in Paris to have a short amount of time with Jens Lehmann. First time I'd ever met him and spoke to him. And I was a bit wary of talking to him because he's got that nickname and he Mad Jens. But do you know what? He was the nicest, friendliest person you could ever wish to meet was Jens Lehmann. He was talkative to me and a couple of my mates, discussed anything, smiley, friendly. And he actually came over to us, which was really, really nice. It was a pleasure to speak to him. So I don't hold any malice against Jens Lehmann. He did what he had to do in a massive game, or did what he thought he was right in a massive game. But at the end of the day, it cost us. It cost us, I think. Yeah. So that's my answer to your question, Crosh. Right, moving on now. How far are we in? We're 43 minutes in, right? 43 minutes in. Just before I move again, yeah, we carry no luck in Europe. Here's hoping that changes this year. You know what, Irish mate? We don't carry much luck in Europe, do we? But do you know what? Sometimes you've got to make your own luck. And there's been times I can remember, I'm not going to be specific now, that we ain't helped ourselves, you know. We ain't helped ourselves. A quarter final against Chelsea comes to mind, you know, and others, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on, right? Sunderland against Everton. Sunderland won at Chelsea last week. Wow, that worries me a little bit with Sunderland away coming up for us. Everton lost at home for Tottenham. Terrible performance from Everton. I fancied Everton to win on their home ground last week. I really did, and they were nowhere near. They were well off the mark. So I've got Sunderland down for a 2-1 win here. And where are we? Kev's gone for a 1-0 win. Simon's gone for a 1-0 win. Arnie's gone for a draw, 2-2. But do you know what, right? When I'm thinking of Sunderland, I'm looking beyond this game and I'm looking at the Sunderland game against us. Ronnie's gone for a 1-1 draw. Danny's gone for a 2-2 draw. Loads of people going for the draw here. But I'm just worried that we play Sunderland in a few weeks' time at their place. It's a game after. It's Saturday week, isn't it? Is it Saturday week? Yeah, we're away at Burnley tomorrow. Then we go to Prague, and then we're going to Sunderland. I've not told the missus I'm going to Sunderland as well yet, but she'll know that. I'm worried about Granit Xhaka, right? Do you know what? Yeah, you took the words out of me. How's them sick, right? I've got it written down here. I've got to talk about Xhaka because Xhaka became our enemy, didn't he? But then he left on his parting terms, good terms. He was good terms with the fans. And he put in a shift for the Arsenal the last couple of seasons he was with us. You could see that he was our midfield man. He was our strength. And I honestly wish he was still with us. I think that he would have played probably like a Norgard role in this current squad, right? He wouldn't have played every week. But by God, to have someone like Xhaka to fall back on, I'd love that now. And I think that he'll play well for Sunderland. I'm just hoping he don't play too well. As Arnie says here, he will play for us next weekend. I hope you're right, Arnie. I really hope you're right. Trev's gone for a 1-1 draw between Sunderland and Everton. I'm going for a Sunderland win. Looking at what Sunderland did last week and what Everton did last week, I'm going for a 2-1 win to Sunderland at home. And I hope they use up all their good luck, and then next week they fall apart against the mighty Arsenal, right? So that's all the games covered, right? One left to do, right? One left to do, and that's Burnley versus the Arsenal. Before I just go on to that, I just want to say, I spoke about the younger element, and it's been 20 odd years since we last won the Premier League. Things could always be worse, Things could always be worse. It's 64 years since Tottenham won a league title of any description, right? So I'm an old fella. I'm 63 years old, and if God help me, but if I'd have been a Tottenham fan, or a Tottenham fan of my age, would have never seen his team win a league title. That's horrendous. At least I've had that pleasure, and hopefully our youngsters will again soon. It's a funny old game, said Ronnie, because who would have thought Xhaka would be back in the Premier League with Sunderland? Absolutely agree. Arnie says he'll be watching the game with Liam Brady, so 3-0 for the Arsenal. Arnie, say hello to Liam Brady for us from Ilsey and from us all at Guns and Yellow Ribbons, and just tell him what I told him once. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the memories, Liam Brady. I can't get stuck on Liam Brady now. We'll go on for an hour and a half. We really will. Now, Simon's got a great point here, right? Because we play before Liverpool and City tomorrow. So a win is fantastic, right? It gets us clear and puts the pressure on them. And I like playing. I don't know what people out there think, but I like playing first in a weekend. Getting a win in and then putting the pressure on them teams that are chasing us now. There's a long way to go, but they're chasing us. Danny's gone 4-0 to the Arsenal. Could happen, Danny. Them six going 1-0 to the Arsenal from a set piece, right? And I agree, right? I've got down here 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'd love to see us, like Danny says, win 4, 5, 6, 7-0. But for me, right? A 1-0 win tomorrow with the ball ricocheting into the net from someone's backside from a corner, or going straight in direct from a corner, or a long throw bouncing off the goalkeeper into his own net and us winning 1-0 will give me the greatest pleasure. I'll be on social media afterwards being an absolute pain in the backside. It's I just want us to win by loads, obviously. But if we won in that manner, 1-0 with a fluky rebounded goal, I will love it. Ronnie's gone 3-1 to the Arsenal. Trev's gone 2-1 to the Arsenal. Andrew's gone 2-1 to the Arsenal. Arnie's saying we can get into them for dropping points before our games. Yeah, we could do that. And I'm not even I've put that comment on the screen. I don't even say that station, even in the form you write it on here, Kev. I do not. I refuse. I'm sorry, mate. So, yeah, everyone, understandably, is going for a win to the mighty Arsenal. They can be a bit feral at Burnley, you know. I can remember going there a few years ago, not sure exactly how long, and we got a last-minute penalty, and Alexis Sanchez scored, and we won 1-0. And after the game, it was a bit feral outside the stadium. Let me tell you, it was interesting to say the least. Yeah. We will be in a cricket club before the game. They've changed the away ends round now at Burnley. They've the same stand, but they've swapped them over. So I don't know if we can get in through the cricket ground side, because it's that side of the stand we'll be in now. Looking forward to that. Martinelli is probably out, we've been told, and Saliba has a chance of playing. So we're not sure how to take that. What is interesting, though, is all three teams that got promoted last year are not in the relegation zone currently. And I don't know when that last happened. The relegated teams have found it so hard, haven't they? So hard. In previous seasons to make that step up. But this season they seem to be doing all right, you know, and I worry for West Ham and Wolves. I really do worry for West Ham and Wolves. I'm not keen on a trip to West Ham, but it's a London trip, so it's close to home. A lot of people don't like going to Wolves, but I don't mind it, to be honest. I don't mind a trip to Wolves. We get all that long side, you know. I often stay over in a little cheap hotel around the corner. It's all right, as long as you don't look too closely at the decor. It's not a bad place to stay, and it's got a bar in it as well, yeah. Danny says we won't concede tomorrow. What makes you say that, Dan? What makes you think we won't let any goals in? I can't think of anything recently that might have made you think that, mate. Andrew's hit the nail on the head. The beer is cheap in Burnley, and it ain't a bad drop either. The beer is very cheap in Burnley. It makes for a decent, cheap trip, right? Scott Parker has been very complimentary about the way Arsenal play and set pieces. I'm not sure about Scott Parker. I'm not sure whether I like him or not, to be honest. I'm not sure. But if he's making them comments, I like him for now. And he's got to say that, really, because it's true, you know. It's really true. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have a good trip to Burnley. I'm going over in the morning. I'll be in the cricket club early. I don't think I'm going to be drinking because I'm coming right to the end of my diet. Got a few more pounds to lose, and if I just leave it a few more days, Prague's coming. I can have a Prague sausage in a bun in Wenceslas Square, and I might have a whiskey and Diet Coca-Cola because I've been told that's the least fattening of all the drinks you can have. So I'm looking forward to that as well next week. Where are we? Ronnie, don't mention what I said, Trevor. Ronnie, I'm 60 odd years old, mate. My Alzheimer's has kicked in and I can't remember what you said, mate. I do apologise. I really do genuinely apologise. Demsek saying, what did West Ham and Wolves sign new players? Kev, I don't know, mate. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm on here talking about who I think is going to win games. And most of them I haven't got overly a lot of knowledge about. I rely on you lot in the comments and normally a guest or two on here to put me right. So I haven't got a clue who West Ham and Wolves might have signed. I've got a feeling they didn't sign many at all, if any. Yeah. So, yeah. And Arnie's agreeing with Demsek. Scotty Parker told the truth about our set pieces. Well, of course he did. Obviously did, right? So, listen, just going to briefly, coming up to the hour, so I'm going to briefly now move on from all the games, just talk about next week, Champions League. We're doing so well, aren't we? You know, we've not had a big test yet, but you've still got to win the games. And in this league format, it's lovely to get off to a great start, right? And we've won our first three. Looking good right there at the top of the league. I want us to be in that top, is it 6 or 8? So we don't have to go off in that into it's 8, I think, and we don't have to go into that playoff round in February. We spend enough money travelling to watch our team at the moment. It costs a fortune. which I'm not complaining about because I don't have to do it, but it has to be said. So I'd rather be without another trip in February. So we've got Slavia Prague next week, who we should beat. We'll be out there. I'll be at the stadium on the morning of the game, having a wander around, doing a little bit on my social media, as I do. So I like to put positive stuff on the social media. It sort of fights off the negative stuff and balances up. So I'll be on there next week on the morning of the game at the stadium, talking about the game, what we think will be going on. Prague's a great city. I'm looking forward to going there. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get the win. We're expected to win in Prague. Put our strongest side out, fingers crossed, and win comfortably, and it'll be a big, big night. And then, of course, as Demsek's rightly put, you're reading my mind tonight, Demsek. We've got Bayern at home after that, which is going to be far and away our biggest test yet. They're absolutely flying. Harry Kane is absolutely flying. They're winning all their games comfortably, looking good. But all I will say is they haven't come up against a back four like ours yet in that German league. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. They haven't come up against a back four like that in our German league. And I fancy us not only to win in Slavia Prague next week, but the week after to beat Bayern Munich. And then if we win our first 5 games, we're right up there looking good. So looking forward to Prague next week. Keep a lookout on mine. It's not on Guns and Yellow Ribbons X page. It'll be on mine, Gooner Hills' X page. Have a look for it, Arnie's saying 3-0 in Slavia Prague next week, all our goals in the last 15 minutes. I hope I don't have to wait that long, Arnie. I really hope I don't have to wait that long for the goals to start going in. Right now, I'm just looking on here now, right, because I've got to find. Oh yeah, I found it. What I'm going to do now is thank the 230 odd people that are watching live. What you're doing, just watching me on my own, I don't know. Hopefully, I've not been too bad. Hopefully, you've somewhat enjoyed the show a little bit. We will be back on Monday. I'll tell you about that after I've pressed this button. I've just found it. Here we go. Do you know what, right? We're talking about the Emirates and the atmosphere and it being our home earlier. Now, I know that there's some people, minority, I know, that don't get along with North London forever, right? But I love it. And for me, there's no denying the fact that it has helped to lift the just pre-match atmosphere in the stadium. We all sing it. We all scream and shout. I know the players love it. I know that Mikel Arteta loves it. And for me, long may we continue to sing it. I really think that it does its job. And if when I nearly said if then, oh my God, when we soon pick up one of these big trophies, it'll be even louder, even more popular, and I'm looking forward to it. Right. Ronnie, thank you for your compliments. Danny, I'll take that compliment tongue in cheek. Arnie, lovely to have you on, mate. I love having you on here. Irish Mick, thank you, Irish Mick. Demsek Kev, thank you. The next home game won't need any lift for the atmosphere. No, it won't, Simon. I most certainly won't. Trev, thank you for the kind compliment, mate. Thank you, everybody, for watching. All you people that are watching. If you're not on YouTube already, go across to YouTube and give us a like or a subscribe. It does help us. I think Fergus has made about 40 quid in about 4 years. But it does help just a little bit, and it helps us. We can do other things with the media, So once again, thank you very, very much. I found the button I need to press. Dan and myself will be in Prague on Monday. We'll be joined in the show. Fergus will be in the studio. I don't know who he's going to have with him, but he'll have someone. Have a fantastic weekend. Up the Arsenal. I'm not going to swear like Fergus does because that's not what I do. But come on, you Gunners. We'll have a big win tomorrow and keep our gap at the top of the league. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Truly humbled. Up the Arsenal.
Thanks for listening to Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Follow us on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons or Twitter at Guns and Ribbons. And remember to rate and review us too. Up the Arsenal.